Spirit, light, body, and forward. What's going on, y'all? All right, man. So I told you last time about Kama Loka. Well, I was kind of wrong about it when I was saying that it's the plane of desires. That was correct, but it's not that you'll stay there and you'll act out your desires until you can move past them. That doesn't even really make sense. Now that I've stabilized the information and actually like studied it really well for this past week, what it is when you're in Kama Loka, if you were attached to things, remember I talked about the desire being in the Kama Rupa, the desire body. So desire brings attachment. When you study the ancient spiritual systems, they teach you that desire brings attachment. So if you're attached to eating good food, we'll just use that as an example, or maybe you're attached to drinking alcohol, what happens is when you first die and the body and soul separate, when you're on the astral plane, you don't lose all of your physical powers and different things like that at first. That kind of happens over time. So that comes along with like your desires and attachments. So you may be like, man, damn, I want to drink some alcohol. But guess what? You no longer have those physical organs in the body to support that. So what happens in Kama Loka is, in Kama Loka, you will go through that plane without those desires until you can get over that. You see what I'm saying? So basically, like, you'll be on that plane and you have to learn to renunciate. So that's why renunciation is very powerful, and that's how you can use renunciation to get into the higher planes. Right now, is renunciating the smallest thing. I ain't gonna smoke cigarettes no more. I renounce smoking cigarettes. I'm not gonna fool with it anymore. You have to really do it now. So you can't. It's not enough to just talk. Like your actions have to meet your meditations. If you say I'm gonna stop smoking, but then you turn around, you're still smoking. That's just you just thinking. That's just thoughts. You plan. You see what I'm saying? You gotta actually do the action to back up that thought, right? So I thought that this was very important to just clarify that. And I also figured out a couple other things too in the studying that I was doing or whatever. Like when I would come out of the body and I would see like these entities sometime or whatever, and sometimes even in the meditation, and like the red, as they explain it, the red sphere would appear, and then you would see like the giant beast or whatever, you know. It has different, it looks different times or whatever, right? And I figured out that, oh, that those are the lower desires. Like if you have like lower, desires, whatever it may be, that will appear to you when you come out of the body or whatever. Like for the initiate or even for an ordinary person when they die and you come to that plane. But like I told you before, like you have to be able to renounce those things. Hey, I can go without that. I don't need it, and truly detach yourself from it. Then you can take off to the higher planes. So remember, man, it's not that you get stuck in some eternal damnation. Oh, you're forever cut off. It doesn't work like that. It's just for you. You will spend however long it takes in Kama Loka for you to get over the attachment. So I just had to correct that with all y'all, man, because I'm not a liar. I don't just get on here and I just don't make up stuff. I just had got that information. I was excited about it. I was like, man, I ain't sent nothing. I was like, man, let me just touch on this. But I shouldn't have did that because I hadn't stabilized it yet. But now that I've got more stabilization on it, and I'm still moving forward. Y'all know I'll be coming forward soon with that video about the Lokas. And yeah, man, I'm gonna just break that down and I'm gonna just show y'all. We'll just talk about the information I can find, because it varies, right? Because you got to understand something about the Lokas. The Loka is just a realm or dimension, so they call the Earth Boo Loka. See what I'm saying? It's the earthly dimension. So that's why we said like the earth isn't, it's not as right, it's not, you're not on some ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's like it doesn't work like that. This is a place that your consciousness exists in because you chose to. So that's why no matter how high you go, it's just a straight line. Everywhere you look around, it's just straight lines. It's a projection of consciousness. It's a plane. It's a realm. That's what a Loka is. It's a realm that exists with various levels of consciousness. Even the very ground you walk on is a level of consciousness, wholeness.